Hi, my name is Stacy. Spend 50 minutes with me and you'll be well on your way to creating awesome images using AI. Do you want to be able to create images like these? Or videos like these? As a video designer editor, often I have difficulties in sourcing and reproducing the images or clips in my mind. AI opened up a whole new world of possibilities where I can reproduce any image or clip that I desire. But what is AI, or artificial intelligence? AI is using computers to learn from experience, using deep learning and natural language processing to perform human tasks like driving cars, playing chess, generating art, etc. To date, two of the more popular AI image generators are Stable Diffusion and Midjourney. Both were launched to the public in mid-2022. I have summarized some of the key differences between the two. I chose Stable Diffusion as it is flexible, open source, and permanently free to use. All my tutorials will be based on Stable Diffusion and Automatic 1111, which is the user interface to Stable Diffusion. In this first tutorial, I will quickly cover how to install Stable Diffusion and start using it. We can access Stable Diffusion in two ways. The first method is by running Stable Diffusion on a consumer-grade PC. To do so, you need the following: Windows 10 or 11, NVIDIA graphics card with at least 8GB VRAM, 10GB hard drive, 16GB memory or RAM. Another way to access Stable Diffusion is by using Google Colab. This option is for those of you who do not have a PC with the recommended minimum configuration. Google Colab is an interactive computing service offered by Google. You can use it for free with a Google account, but you may get disconnected during busy hours or have been using too much GPU time lately. In the description below, I have included a link on which Colabs are available for running Stable Diffusion, as well as a link on how to use Stable Diffusion with Google Colab. There is a very good YouTube tutorial on installing Stable Diffusion on the internet. I have extracted a section of this for your review, as well as summarized the steps for you.
You can now install the Auto 1111 Web UI. For this, you'll need Python 3.10.6. The newer versions of Python currently don't support some things, so make sure you have the right version. Download it from the link below, and be sure to check Add Python to Path while installing. This is very important. Next, download and install something called Git, which is necessary to install the actual UI itself and get updates for it. Once you're done with these installations, it's time to download the Stable Diffusion Web UI repository. For this, open Command Prompt and a Windows Explorer window. Find the folder that you want to install Stable Diffusion in and copy the file path from up here. Enter CD, then paste your file path and hit Enter. Now you're in the right folder. Enter the command git clone and this URL to the GitHub repository, which you can copy from the video description. Then hit Enter. Wait for the process to finish, and then you'll find your installation in Windows Explorer. Run this webui-user.bat file and wait again briefly. Now it's installing all the remaining components. You can now see your UI under this address in your web browser.
After installing Stable Diffusion, you need to download a model. What is a model? Models sometimes are called checkpoint files, and these are what Stable Diffusion uses to generate images. With the same text prompt, using different models will produce different results. Civit AI is a platform where users can upload and share AI models. The link is in the video description below. Go to Civit AI, select and download a model, then copy the downloaded model into your Stable Diffusion Web UI models/Stable Diffusion directory. You can now start using Stable Diffusion. To start up Automatic 1111, open your Windows Explorer, navigate to your newly created Stable Diffusion Web UI folder that you created during the installation process and click on a file called webuiuser.bat. The first time you run this file, it will take some time as the web UI downloads and installs the components that you need to run Stable Diffusion. When this process completes, you will be able to see a URL. Click on this URL and it should open up a browser window with Stable Diffusion. This tutorial focuses on how to generate an image. There are two ways to generate an image, either using text to image, where you enter some text in the prompt to generate an image, or using image to image, where you generate an image from a source image. I'll briefly go through how you generate images using both methods. In this first tutorial, so as not to overwhelm you with information, I will cover only the basic information that you need in order to start generating images. First, you need to select a model that you want to use. Remember, we downloaded and copied our models from Civic AI earlier? From the drop-down list here, you will see the models that are available. Next, you enter a prompt, which is what is used to describe the image that you want to generate. I have summarized some prompt tips that you can use. Negative prompts. This is another way to suppress things that you don't want to see in your image. In fact, many practitioners use boilerplate negative prompts. Sampling methods and sampling steps. This is what Stable Diffusion uses to generate the image. There are many sampling methods available, and your generated image will be different depending on the sampling method and the sampling steps that you choose. Restore faces. This applies an additional model trained for restoring defects on face. I use a code former with a 0 weight for maximal effect. If we look under Settings, Face Restoration, you will see the face restoration model set as well as the weight. Under Width and Height, this refers to the size of the output image. We usually leave this as the default values of 512 by 512. But if you want a portrait image, you can change it to 512 width and 768 height with a 2:3 aspect ratio. Batch count and size here, you can set the number of images that you want to see in one generation. CFG scale. CFG stands for Classifier Free Guidance Scale. This is a number typically between 7 and 13 that specifies how much you want your input prompt to control the generation. A lower number means you want the generated result to be less close to the prompt. Example, a 1 means to mostly ignore your prompt. Seed. Each image generation will have a unique seed that is displayed on the bottom right of your image. The seed is what AI will use to calculate and display your image. To reuse the seed for each subsequent generation, click on this icon here. You can use the dice icon to reset this value back to -1. After which random seeds will be generated each time. You can also specify extra seeds with variation strengths that you may want to use. Let's move on to the right hand side. This blue arrow here is for reusing your last prompt so that you don't have to re-enter the prompt. The next option is to clear the prompt. This icon here is to specify a particular texture inversion, hypernetwork, checkpoint or LoRa that you may want to use. Don't worry if you don't know these terms as they are not required for standard image generation. Next, I would like to talk about styles. These are preset positive and negative prompts that you can use to reduce the prompt development time. As you can see from this example, the same prompt but using different styles will have different results depending on the style that is chosen. This icon here is for applying a selected style to your current prompt. And this is for saving the style. In this styles drop down here, you will see the styles that are available in your Stable Diffusion environment. In my description, I have included a link to a free styles file. All you need to do is to download this file and copy it to your web UI directory, and the styles will become available in your styles drop-down list here. On the bottom here, we have these icons. First, this icon opens out the output folder so that you can see what has been generated. This option allows you to save the generated image into a different folder. You can also zip or compress the image. This allows you to send the resulting image into an image-to-image process where you can generate an image from this existing image. Send to InPaint. You use this when your resulting image has some flaw or some issue that you want to correct. After you send to InPaint, you can mask the area to be corrected. When you generate again, that mask area should be corrected. Send to Extras. You can use this option when you want to rescale your image to have a higher resolution. Example from 512 by 512 to 1024 by 1024. A shortcut to quickly create an image is to go to Civic AI, download the image that you're looking for onto your PC. At this point, I would like to explain the different types of models in Civic AI. Checkpoint file. This is a stable diffusion model. I talked about this earlier. Checkpoint merge is where you merge more than one checkpoint. Safe tensors are like checkpoint files, except that they are a safe alternative to checkpoints as they do not contain code which can be maliciously exploited. LoRa. These are models that are small checkpoint models which have been specifically trained. For example, if you use a LoRa that has been trained to produce cat images and you ask for a dog image, the result will not look like a dog. Depending on the image that you want to produce, you download the associated model as well as the image from Civic AI. So in this case, this is the image that I want to use, and I've downloaded the associated LoRa onto my PC. Next, download the image itself onto your PC. Save the image onto your PC. Then in Stable Diffusion, I open the PNG Info tab and I move my downloaded image in. Below, I click Send to Text to Image, and if I click on Generate here, I should be able to get an image that is quite similar to what I see here. Okay, so this is one easy way of getting the results that you want. Now that we have covered text to image, I will quickly cover image to image, which is using a source image to create another image. Here you can also use a prompt to guide the image creation. What I usually do is to drop my image in and click on the interrogate clip. Let's look at an example, which is a very old black and white photo. First, I'll change my model to realistic vision, and then I'll click on interrogate clip. With my default settings of a denoising strength of 0.75, I will click on the generate button, and you can see that the result is quite different from my source image. What I can do is turn down my denoising strength to maybe 0.3, adjust the width and height to match my source image, which is 1200 by 1600, and click restore faces. And this time when I click on generate again, you will see that the image is closer to my source image. If I apply, say, an anime star to the image and change my checkpoint to Toon U, click on the generate button again, and this is what I get. The possibilities are endless. You just need to experiment until you get an image that you're satisfied with. Once you're happy with the result, use this green icon here to copy the seed and use this seed to generate variations of the same subject. Wow, that's quite a lot of information in the first tutorial. If you want to see how I've used AI in my music videos, please visit my YouTube channel. Link is in the description below. I've created a playlist for my AI music videos. Have a look and you can see how I've used AI in my music videos to create some very interesting and entertaining videos. This concludes my first tutorial. If you like this tutorial and would like me to create more tutorials, please subscribe to my channel, like, comment and share my videos. Thank you.